What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel One Man's Walk. I am your host Gamal, back at you with another one. And so what we have for you today, well, the Moon Knight trailer came out. I didn't know what was going on as I was watching it. It seemed cool, but I figured, hey, let's get a little bit more insight. So I went ahead and called Easy so Easy could come back and help us out with understanding what's going on. So let's get right to it right after this intro.
Clean your house music. You can clean too.
Welcome back. So like I said, we're about to get right into this Moon Knight trailer. Got the remote hand ready to hit play. Let's see what's going on, and then we'll discuss right after.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
I have a sleeping disorder. I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
I'm losing it.
I like that Kid Cudi song.
You'll catch you on. You're bloody useless, Stevie.
Stephen. I can't tell the difference between my dreams.
Thank you.
Lost the contact lens.
Hope you find it.
Thanks.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're alive. What's wrong with you, Mark?
Why did you call me Mark? It must be very difficult. Voices.
You can help.
There's chaos in you. Embrace the chaos.
Original series streaming March 30th. Okay, so we just watched the Moon Knight trailer. I don't know why I keep messing that up. I do like the lead character. Oscar Isaac is an amazing actor. I've seen him in a few different movies. I forgot the gangster movie, which is what I first seen him in now.
He was also in the last trilogy of Star Wars as well. I know you didn't watch it, but he was in it.
You know what? I did see it. I've seen the Star Wars. I just not into Star Wars. If it triggers you, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Honestly,
He's a plain guy.
Nobody's gonna be upset with you for not caring about them last three. Nobody's gonna fault you for that at all.
Well, okay, so unpopular segment.
Unpopular
I actually
segment.
think I've seen the 6 of them, or what, 7?
It's
However
9
many
of
of it. Okay, 9. I've seen all of them, right? I only like the newer ones.
The only ones aside from the original trilogy, and for real, even with the original trilogy, I didn't really care for Jedi that much. My favorites was the first 2 Star Wars. Well, episodes 3, 4, and 5 were my favorites, and then Rogue One. I like
Rogue One.
With
the new girl.
Yeah, I felt that Rogue One, out of all the newer films, was the best. It was definitely better than that last trilogy to me. Than any of the official Star Wars films. Rogue One was probably better than all those, and Solo as well. It was better than that as well. I felt like that was it was actually a good story, and didn't rely so much on nostalgia.
Okay.
Moon Knight.
With this guy, I think he's a good actor overall. I think he's a really good actor. I think what Marvel is doing as far as the actors that they're bringing on, the actresses that they're bringing on, they're quality actors and actresses. They're not just individuals I feel are good for a comic book movie. I think they are getting actors to come and play in comic book movies and not people who Oscar Isaac can leave this role and go do something else, and I'm not going to just associate him with Moon Knight. Exactly. Because I find him to be just a legitimate actor who's just really, really good at what he does. And so I'm just excited for that. Now, as far as the actual trailer, it seemed cool. I have some questions. One, is Moon Knight some type of demon something?
No. Actually, the character of Moon Knight, his original name is Mark Spector. You see that they were calling him Steven here. So he has 3 different identities that he uses, but his original name is Mark Spector. He was a soldier of fortune, a mercenary. When they were on a mission somewhere in Egypt, and they were actually going to kill this archaeologist, one of his lead commander, Bushman, who you don't see anywhere in here, which I'm actually surprised about, because he's always in. If you go through all of the Moon Knight lore in pretty much every incarnation, every volume, Bushman is always around. He basically was going to kill the archaeologist, but Mark, basically saved him, and was left for dead in the desert. The only reason he tried to save him because the man's daughter was there, Marlene, who actually eventually ends up being Mark's girlfriend.
Okay, so when you say desert, is that the whole Egypt scene?
Yeah. Well, I don't know in the film. I'm just saying, like,
okay.
in the lore, in the initial origin. Well, not origin, but when they actually started going into his origin, because he originally came out in the Werewolf by Night series, where he was hired by an organization to kill the Werewolf by Night, Jack Russell. But I'm not even going to go into that because that has nothing to do with anything that they're doing here. So basically, he's left for dead. He finds himself in a temple, and he doesn't know if he's hallucinating or if he's dying.
I got that part.
And he gets basically a message from Khonshu, who is like the Egyptian moon god, and he basically states to Mark, he's like, if you give yourself over to me and vow to be my fist of vengeance, I will give you life. I will
that sounds
bring
like
you
Ghost
back.
Rider.
But no, this is different. Ghost Rider actually sold his soul to a demon.
Okay.
This was a god.
Isn't that the Ghost Rider's champion?
No, the god was like, you're going to be my avatar, and I'll give you life. Whereas Zarathos, when Johnny Blaze made a deal with the demon Zarathos, because he wanted to save his father. His father was going to die in a crash. So basically what he did was he saved the father and then gave the father terminal cancer later. So it's like, well, this is how the devil works. It's in the details. You got to be very specific in the fine print.
Hold on one second. Real quick, if you guys have not already done so, we'll do a little housekeeping. Make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post bell notifications. Thank you, sir. For all the content that we have going on, whether it's music related, fashion related, TV show, movie related, whatever it is, you guys know you can get it right here and enjoy the content. Hope you guys are enjoying it thus far. All right.
Okay.
So we squared away that it's an Egyptian god.
Yes,
who has
the Egyptian moon god. Khonshu.
So who is Ethan Hawke, who's also we saw from, I didn't recognize everyone, but Ethan Hawke I also recognize. He's a really good I won't say really good actor. I enjoy the work he does.
He has an extensive body of work for all the years. He's put in a lot of years.
Between 30 Days, 30 Nights, is that what it was called? The vampire movie in Alaska?
30 Days of Night.
30 Days of Night. Yeah. I like them in that a lot. I liked them a lot in Training Day. Liked him a lot. Obviously, that was the first thing I ever saw him in. Liked him a lot in The Purge. And so
Which Purge was he?
The first one.
Oh, was in the first one?
With Cersei. Cersei was his wife.
Oh, that's right.
It's
been so many
Purges. Oh my gosh. I'm calling her
track.
Cersei. What is her real name? Lena Headey.
Yeah, Lena Headey.
Headey, yes.
Yeah, sorry.
She is Cersei. I see her.
She was a good villain in that Dredd movie, too.
In the what?
She was in Dredd. The remake of Dredd.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
She was the villain in that.
The Sylvester Stallone movie?
No, not she wasn't in the Stallone version.
Right, but that's
but yeah, Carl Urban did the remake.
Okay, yeah, I had
she
not
was
seen
in
that. I'll maybe check that out.
And then
That's
she used to play Sarah Connor too.
That was an amazing show. Sorry for the side note in a tangent. The Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles was absolutely amazing. I'm so mad they got rid of that. I wish Netflix would have picked it up and continued it. She was really good in that. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Okay, so basically,
Ethan Hawke, who's his character supposed to be?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's a character from the earlier, like the first run of Moon Knight. He was only like in maybe 1 or 2 issues ever. So
what is his character supposed to be? Because it felt like they were treating him like a godlike character,
like a messiah or something, like that.
A prophet of sort. I'm
not even sure if this dude has any powers. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have to I'm gonna have to go back and research that because I haven't read every volume of Moon Knight.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I honestly believe he was only in maybe like 1 issue of the early 80s series of Moon Knight, because he wasn't in any of the later incarnations. I've read a couple of volumes of Moon Knight, not read them all, but he wasn't in any of the ones that I read.
Okay.
So
if you guys know, just comment below who Ethan Hawke's character is supposed to be, maybe what issue he's in, things of that nature. That would be great. He looks to have, obviously he has some type of schizophrenia or something. It feels like, for him to not have a memory of whatever's happening to him.
Yes.
And then he's getting visions. I assume the visions are until he finally embraces that one scene at the end where it looks like Ethan Hawke is like, you gotta kind of give in. And he finally, I feel like that's probably the finale episode where he embraces this duality or tripality or whatever.
Every aspect of
his personality.
Yeah, of his psyche.
So I'm interested more so to know how much of this show is going to be based on us exploring the character Mark or Steven, of Oscar Isaac being able to showcase his range and ability as far as his acting is concerned, and how much of it is really going to be the Moon Knight character per se out and about. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if we're going to spend more time with the man and not as much with Moon Knight, at least in the season 1.
I would think initially, honestly, just from the way that a lot of the Marvel TV series have been going on Disney Plus, don't expect him in the costume at least until maybe like the 4th episode. Because I'm assuming, for one, because the way that they have the trailer going with him just waking up and he's not even realizing who he actually is. Because right now he's in the Stephen Grant personality, which is normally would be the millionaire personality. He has 3 different personalities. Stephen Grant is like the millionaire playboy, quote unquote.
Like a Batman?
Basically. Mark Spector is his original, his what you would call his prime personality. And he was like a military soldier of fortune. He was a mercenary.
Okay.
His 3rd personality is Jake Lockley, who is like a New York cabbie. That's the guy who gets all the intel on the criminal organizations and stuff like that. So he disguises himself as a cabbie. Well, it probably won't work. He would be an Uber driver now, technically.
Right. But the concept behind it.
Yeah, but that's how he would get like intel on all of the low-level street crime, by being out there in the public all the time.
So does he kill, or is he just like a bruiser like Batman?
Well, see, Mark, he doesn't have a whole lot of what you call restraint, and then again, he is military, so he has no issue with killing.
Okay.
He won't necessarily. He's not like, he will kill, but it's not like a last resort for him. If it's a situation he's in, he's going. If he feel like he gotta kill you, he's gonna kill you. He's not gonna really think. He's not gonna have a big moral dilemma about taking your life.
So should we expect this to be more in line with like a Punisher? Not to the extent of John Bernthal, amazing actor as well. Obviously, he's not going to be in this, but that level, maybe not that level of violence, but
I would say on the level of brutality, yes. I don't know if they're really going to have him going out there just killing cats, because he has done that before, but other aspects of Moon Knight where he was more on the heroic side, because again, he was an Avenger. And they wouldn't let somebody like that, who would just like straight killer, be on there. The Punisher was never an Avenger.
Can be.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, Wolverine was.
Wolverine's a different animal.
Exactly, but Wolverine is a killer. If he has to, he'll kill. But that's not necessarily his first go-to. Just like, that's not his first go-to. You know, of course, being with the X-Men, living under that motto and everything like that. But Moon Knight, yeah, he's a brutal character. And in past incarnations of Moon Knight, initially when he first started using those different identities. Because before, in the earlier versions of Moon Knight, it wasn't so much dissociative identity disorder. That's what they call it. The multiple personality disorder. They in comics, they later stated that when they retconned him, they stated that due to all the years of playing those different roles and different identities, it's almost like he got confused as to which one was actually truly him. There's a series. There's a TV series, I don't know if you've ever seen it, with Sean Bean. It was called Legends. Did you ever see that?
No, but I do know who that is.
Okay.
Ned Stark.
Yeah, Sean Bean, who had played
Sorry, everybody's a Game of Thrones actor.
Who had played Ned Stark. He had actually played in a show called Legends. And the concept of Legends, he was a spy. And he had been undercover in different identities so long and so much that he didn't know who he was. He didn't know what identity he had. And the only reason I use that as a reference, that would be the only show that I can think of off the top of my head, that if you went back and watched, you can kind of get an aspect of probably where they're going with this.
Gotcha.
Because he didn't know who he was. I mean, he knew all the different identities, but he didn't know which one was his actual prime identity. Because he had been undercover and playing different roles for so long.
So, last question before we end this. So, is this going to be one of those 6-episode ones like the Falcon Winter Soldier Loki? Are we looking at a 9-episode one like WandaVision? Do we know if this is going to be a recurring one? Because right now, the only Marvel said What If was returning.
Yeah, What If
Loki is returning.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda, we do not know at the moment. Neither Falcon and Winter Soldier. So is this more in line with the Wanda, where we're just going to get maybe 9 episodes or 6 episodes? Or is this just going to be we're in and we're, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to continue. Do you know?
Well, the MCU, they actually, I don't think they ever really stated whether or not we was going to get, like, you know, if it gets picked up for another series, or if it's going to lead to the character being in motion pictures. Because I think with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it's more going to lead into the next Captain America film. Right. And then with WandaVision, it's kind of leading into the Strange movie. So it's like, for those series, I understand why they're not leading into another season, but the Loki is, because essentially, remember, because Loki, he can't go back to his timeline. Remember, because for one, he died, and then this Loki can't go back to the past of that timeline because he's a variant. So I think they couldn't do that. That's why I don't know what they're going to do, if they're even going to have him in
anything else.
Yeah. If they're going to have him in the next Thor, Love and Thunder, because they never really say, but Loki's such a popular character from the Thor mythos, and let's be honest, he was pretty much, people loved him, I'm not saying they don't love Hemsworth, but they really love Hiddleston.
He does a good job, I will say that. He's not like a favorite of mine, but I think he does a good job.
Yeah, but he is a fan favorite.
He's a fan favorite. I recognize that.
He's a fan favorite with the MCU fans.
I recognize that.
That's why you see Loki everywhere.
Yes,
but
I recognize that.
I'm not 100% sure if he's going to actually play any type of role in Love and Thunder. So who knows? But with the Moon Knight series, you know, and then with them eventually doing a Blade movie,
can't wait.
I'm thinking that Marvel's now starting to lead more into the
dark side.
The darker version of the Marvel universe, more the supernatural, or what you would quote unquote say the horror. Because if you think about it, like with Morbius coming out, I think Morbius comes out in March?
Yes, if it's not pushed back.
Okay, so Morbius is supposed to be coming out within about a month or so. Then we got Blade. Moon Knight's already a series. You know, Ghost Rider's already been on TV, already had movies, and I'm thinking they're talking about either doing another movie or doing a series with
I like
one
the
of the
Agents
Ghost
of
Riders.
Shield guy. Hopefully they get him.
So if they do all that, you know, then they already have enough characters where they can lead into the Midnight Suns, and the Midnight Suns was a group that pretty much fought all the supernatural, like demons, ghosts, things of that nature. So most of those characters are, right now, are seemingly to be presented in the MCU if they haven't already been out there. So I'm thinking that's a whole nother set of stories that they can delve into that they haven't touched before. Because as well as, you have Thor going into space and the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you're going to have eventually the Fantastic Four. Now you got a lot of, with the Eternals, they talked about a lot of the cosmic stuff, especially at the end of the Eternals when you saw Star Fox, who is Thanos' little brother, showcasing all the other Eternals across the galaxy. I'm thinking now they're going to get into a lot of the, and with Captain Marvel as well, dealing with a lot of the cosmic heroes and a lot of stuff that's going on in other universes and things of that nature. But with Moon Knight, with, again, even though he's with Sony, Morbius, Blade, they're getting also more into the supernatural as well.
Which I'm here for.
So they have whole different ranges of stories that they can tell. That's not necessarily just based on Earth or just based in the normal
MCU,
world
New York and stuff like that we're used to in New York.
Yeah.
That's good. That's it. I didn't want to make it too long. Hopefully it's not too long. We'll see. But
also we do want to give a shout out to the actor Gaspard Ulliel, who was actually supposed to be playing Midnight Man in this series. I'm sure he's already finished, since the series is out now. I'm sure principal production, all that's already been done. But unfortunately last week he died in a skiing accident. He was only 37 at the time.
Which is crazy.
I'm not really familiar with the actor because I think this would have been his first U.S. role, his first role in the West, and condolences go out to his family and 100%. And everybody on the set of Moon Knight, who had worked with him and gotten to really know that guy. So even though I didn't know him, but we're going to get to see his work soon. So just shots go out to his family. Rest in peace, brother.
Thank you so much for bringing that up.
Oh yeah, no problem. Man.
As always, I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed, productive, stress-free day, weekday, weekend, whenever you're listening, however you're listening. I thank you for listening. Thank you so much, as always, Easy. And with that, we say till next time.